Our typical deployment. When we deploy our platform in Amazon's cloud environment, so it's infinitely scalable. We have this ability we can bring things like a new scalable instance of any part of the platform online within minutes. And also based on times of the day. So there's cyclical periods to different traffic patterns where you have more data coming onto the platform versus less data coming onto the platform based on rush hour traffic, things like that. We can scale the platform to suit the needs because of the Amazon environment. And so what we typically do is we break our application or our platform into sort of four main applications. We have our process manager application, and that's the piece that is responsible for bringing data onto the platform, cleansing it, normalizing it, and loading it into our data structures. Next, the data flows into our analytics application, which takes this raw data and generates the intermediary events like hard breaks, turns, and so forth. It moves on from the analytics application into our scoring application, where we generate the individual score details or full scores based upon what we set up for your platform. And then there's our web UIs and portals, and there's a number of those that are available. We have custom portals that are used to display driving data to end users. We have administrative applications that are used for the insurers, and this is a role-based application that allows your contact centers to know when a device was last plugged in, or when a customer calls up and has a question about their telematics information. It gives the different CSR representatives or consumer service representatives access to certain types of data that you decide to view what's going on within that user's account so they can have an intelligent communication back and forth. And we work with you to configure the important details on that, whether you want some of them to know when the last time somebody drove was, just so they can answer a question of, is my device still working? All the way down to giving them information about a score so that you can see what the user is seeing on a screen within a mobile application or a portal to ensure that you're able to answer the question when you get a question from a consumer that says, on my last trip, it's showing that I was driving at this speed, where you can see that information and be able to intelligently answer those questions for them. When we deploy it both vertically and horizontally scalable situations. So we have multiple instances of Process Manager. It's all in an ActiveMQ or a queuing series framework. So the idea being is all this data is stored redundantly and is scalable and pretty much to any level that we need based on the demands of the system. And so we have multiple process managers, multiple analytics, multiple scoring applications. And these all run in a way that we can process all the data as it's coming onto the platform in real time. From a database standpoint, we have what's basically a hot configuration. So there's an active production environment with a hot backup. So if anything was to happen to that one, it would fail over in a fault-tolerant way to the other one. We also keep our read replicas, which we create multiples of those for you to access. And they can be promoted to a read-write production-ready database with just a click of a button. The idea being is we have multiple copies of this data stored redundantly, so if there is any disaster situation, we can recover that data and transition over to one of our disaster or business continuity environments really quickly and efficiently. Another component that we do have is a batching application. So there's some processes that have to happen within a batch process. For example, we want to calibrate devices to determine breaking off an accelerometer as well as gyroscope data. So we run nightly configuration processes. We have a batch application that handles those types of events. The batch application also handles other things, for example, weekly summary emails. So you want to communicate to your customers to provide a standardized piece of information to them. We'll use the batch application to kick off those events, capture the correct data, and then distribute that information to the end users in a batch fashion.